It is time for the third attempt of the Spearazon. So first off, as you can tell, I am punching because I do not have a spear yet. So these guys are kind of kicking my ass. So I decided to go to the blood more, try and find some items. I end up actually finding a lot of stuff and buying a spear. So I get my ass kicked less-ish. But I do end up killing them, so then it's time as usual to run away from the Rakanishu. Yeah, very overpowered here. And I end up grinding on Rakanishu, which sounds way dirtier when I say it out loud. Almost dying a few times, but I end up making it to level 12. So these are my stats and my skills at that point. Just lots into critical strike. And one thing you want to do with this build is just funnel the enemy. So you like want to use doors, pillars and stuff to make sure that there's only one or two things coming at you at the same time. And you also want attack rating, so I make a helmet and then I find a stealth, which I use to get stuck behind this little area here, and I open up this magical Harry Potter-like door. And then I drink some antidotes, because it's time for the Andario fight. She is pissed at me because I killed her for 24 hours straight, so that's why she walks like slow and stuff. That's just the impale slow. After that it's time to get a decent merc, so now we're Pokey brothers and sisters. I end up making a town portal at the Halls of the Dead. Then walking to the far oasis and then just using the waypoint to go back to town and use the town portal to get back to the Halls of the Dead again. It's just an easy way to get across the map. I ninja cross my way through that hallway there. And then I just use the door again until I hit the whole Roderick cube. I also gamble a belt and a spear. And then I go for the far oasis where I do the same little trick. So I go for the maggot lair, make a town portal and use the Lost City waypoint to get back. Then I kill Coldworm the Burrower, get the Staff of Kings. At least I try to. I end up fucking up and making my way into the town portal. And with that it is Cloy Temple time. And once again using a door to get through. Get stuck again. And two-shot the summoner. I find a ring from him. It's a Doom Cross ring. It's just fire resist and attack rating. I end up putting more points into Impale. Make some more stats in there. And then it's time to head towards Duriel. So this room is a goddamn train wreck. So I save and exit. Drink my thawing pots and fight Duriel on the second attempt I'm walking in. So what Impale does is it deals a lot of damage, but it costs you durability. But I don't care about that because I can just repair. But slow is another thing that it does, and it makes sure that the bosses just basically don't function. I end up finding a Vidalis amulet and an Hasaurus boots and a jade figurine, while my mercenary shoots a 3. And then it's time for another ring drop and the git bin, and after that I farm my way up some levels against Serena. I know what she's called. Battlemate Serena. I know it for sure. But I farm her until level 25. And then it's time for the sewers, where I quickly pick up the heart and then make my way towards the council, who with the combination of a lot of damage and slow just dies. And just like Duriel and Andario, Mephisto also just gets slowed and just dies. Like slow and Impale are just so broken. Like Impale would be so good if it wasn't bound to like the slowest animation on the history of the planet. As you can tell by me just killing everything with it. I end up doing the Hellforge, finding a Neff rune and some diamonds. I use those diamonds to get more attack rating, so I upgraded my helmet. And then we make our way towards the Chaos Sanctuary, where I get rid of all of the butlers of Diablo. I end up gambling a belt as well in the meanwhile, and then I head towards these guys, and the Venom Lords kick my ass, so I save and exit again, and I end up leaving the game at 64 HP. Second attempt at those, I managed to whirl around them and then just poke them out. I'm funneling them between the button and the wall, so that's a nice place to put them. Kill them and it's Diablo time, so he opens up with some lightning. I try to dodge it. And there he is, slowed as shit. Fuck you Diablo, get wrecked. Also, I don't know why I'm taking damage there. I'm like a million miles away from the fire. And he's like, get wrecked yourself. So here's more lightning. I end up triggering my amplified damage from my gambled spear. And then I run away a bunch, because if I stand in that lightning I will die a lot. Quickly. And yeah, the slow just really working its way around him. I take a lightning to the face. It's very bad for me. And after lots of lightning dodging, I end up killing him. And I also killed Dark Farron, who drops me a circlet. And this circlet is insane. +2 skills, 20 FCR. Like what? So sick. And then it's time for another level grind. I go to players 8 and I farm some Eldritch to Rectifier. who drops me a Maiden Pike, and it's a massive Maiden Pike, and this is a fuck ton of damage. I also end up finding some Sander's heavy gloves, and after the farm I go ahead and make my way to Anya and the area summit, where I just do the same thing as I do to every other thing in the game. I impale it till it's slowed down, and then I pray and hope that it dies at some point. So Maddock dies, Korlik dies, and so does Talik. I end up going to level 40 of the Ancients. This is what it's looking like. I end up finding a 28 resist Grand Charm, and then I make my Ancient Pledge. I almost died to the Venom Lords, and then it's Bale time, and Bale literally just does not work when he's slowed this much. So you can just stand there and kill him. After that I decide to farm some more Mephistos, so I end up finding a Saigon's Belt, and I gamble some circlets. I find a Jeweler's Coronet of Haste. This thing is insane. I wish it had 3 sockets. And I find this circlet and this amulet, and all of them are nuts. So I use those to go into Nightmare, where I find an M-Rune in the Den of Evil. And you can really start to see that the build is starting to struggle, even though I'm like over leveled as shit. Like, I'm taking lots of damage. And I am farming the counters here, so I'm finding like Soul Runes, M-Runes, so I can make a lore. And I also want to make a spear, but I don't have a base yet. And I end up killing the smith. And I dodge these balls. Kill some spiders. Find a ring mill. It's a dark glow. And then it's Andario time. And just like every other boss in the game, she doesn't really work when she's slowed as much. Impale is such an insane boss killer. It's so good. It has so much potential. Another one bites the dust. I find a 17 resist all amulet, which is nuts. Make my way to the maggot lair, where I find this little room that's insanely dangerous. It has like cursed beetles and stuff. It's all just a nightmare. I find a Grand Charm, and it's a sharp Grand Charm of sustenance. And then in Tarash's tomb I start taking a lot of damage, so it's time to move along and head towards Duriel, who just kind of stands around a bit. Like, he punches, like he does some symbolic punching and stuff, but he just goes down very easily. Like, boss fights are not a thing with this character. It's so good against them. Then in the Spider Cavern I find a Steel Skull. It's a great weapon, so I go ahead and kill some stuff with it. It has Mana Leech, IAS, Life Leech, everything you want. I head towards the Flayer Dungeon and the sewers, and there are dolls in here, and dolls are insanely dangerous. I do end up making it towards the bottom though. But this is where disaster strikes. I get stuck behind that stupid fire and I die. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.